This blind cat traveled across the country to find her home again. Before we begin, please subscribe to the channel. Your support means everything to us, and it's the only way to share the stories of these beautiful animals that often go unheard. It helps us keep telling these incredible tales. So please subscribe now. In the quiet, sun-drenched town of Camden, Maine, a blind cat named Bella lived with her loving family. One fateful morning, a moving truck pulled away, leaving her behind in a whirlwind of confusion and heartache. The world around her was filled with strange sounds and unfamiliar scents, each step an echo of loss. But even in darkness, Bella's spirit burned bright. Her heart guided her, whispering tales of home. Days turned into weeks as Bella navigated the wilderness, relying on her keen senses to guide her through the chaos of a foreign world. She ventured through dense forests, where shadows danced ominously, and the rustle of leaves hinted at lurking dangers. Cities loomed ahead, bustling with noise and clamor, a stark contrast to the warmth of her family's embrace. Hunger gnawed at her, exhaustion wrapped around her like a heavy cloak, but the thought of reuniting with the family she loved ignited a fire within her. In the depths of her struggle, Bella faced the unthinkable. Predators prowled, and the cold nights were relentless, but she pressed on. Each step was a testament to her determination, each challenge a reminder of the love that spurred her forward. The journey transformed her into a warrior, a symbol of resilience against all odds. Bella's heart beat in sync with the rhythm of hope as she traversed mountains and valleys, fueled by the invisible thread that connected her to the life she once knew. Through every trial, Bella's spirit soared higher, guided by an unexplainable inner compass. She was not just a blind cat. She was a living embodiment of loyalty and love, a reminder that the bond between a pet and its family transcends distance and despair. With each passing day, she inched closer to her destination, driven by the unwavering belief that home was not just a place, but a feeling she was determined to reclaim. As Bella pressed on through the tangled underbrush, the whispers of the forest enveloped her like a shroud. The world felt vast and foreign, each sound a potential threat or a beacon of hope. She paused to listen, her ears twitching, picking up the distant chattering of squirrels and the rustling of leaves stirred by a gentle breeze. A nearby brook gurgled softly, its cool water calling to her parched throat. But Bella was not just any cat. She was a survivor. With each cautious step, she moved away from the familiar sense of her home, the memories of her family's warmth still clinging to her heart. The shadows danced around her, and the sun began its descent, casting long fingers of twilight over the landscape. She took a deep breath, inhaling the earthy aroma of damp soil and pine, urging herself onward. Meanwhile, in town, the whispers about Bella grew louder. "Have you seen that blind cat wandering around?" A shopkeeper named Mrs. Henderson remarked, wiping her hands on her apron. Her eyes darted toward the window, where Bella frequently appeared, a spectral figure against the backdrop of bustling life. Mrs. Henderson was one of the few who had noticed the little cat's forlorn wanderings. "She doesn't seem to be looking for food," another shopkeeper chimed in, placing freshly baked bread on the counter. "It's as if she's searching for something or someone." Children gathered outside, their eyes wide with curiosity as they watched Bella sniff the air, her whiskers quivering. "What's she waiting for?" a girl named Lily asked, tugging at the sleeve of her friend. "Maybe she's waiting for her family to come back. Or maybe she's lost," her friend replied, concern knitting her brow. "What if she's trying to find her way home?" Their innocent theories floated through the air, mingling with the fading light. Some townsfolk began to leave out food, but Bella wouldn't touch it. She was on a mission, her spirit undeterred by the uncertainty surrounding her. As the days passed, the townspeople grew invested in her plight, each developing their own theories about the blind cat's purpose. "Perhaps she's looking for her lost family," speculated Mr. Thompson, an elderly man with a heart of gold. "I've seen animals do the most incredible things for love." I don't know," said Mrs. Henderson, shaking her head. "Maybe she's protecting something? I've seen her hissing at stray dogs that come too close. Their conversations filled the air with a sense of urgency, creating a tension that hummed like electricity in the atmosphere. Bella walked on, oblivious to the growing concern around her, but guided by an intrinsic sense of direction, her heart beating in time with the whispers of her memories. As she navigated through a particularly dense thicket, she stumbled upon a group of travelers camped by the roadside. The flicker of their fire drew her closer, the smell of roasted meat wafting through the air, a siren call to her empty belly. But she hesitated, sensing the unfamiliarity of their presence. "Look at that poor thing," a woman named Clara exclaimed, her voice tinged with compassion. "She's blind. How did she end up out here alone?" "Maybe she's been abandoned," a man replied, his tone heavy with sadness. "Or maybe she's lost her way. We should help her." But for Bella, help was not what she sought. She was driven by an unwavering desire to find the warmth and love of her family, a force that pushed her forward through the uncertainty. And so she slipped back into the shadows, leaving the camp behind, her heart set on one destination: home. As night fell, the stars twinkled above like distant beacons of hope, guiding Bella through the darkness. She pressed on, her resolve hardening with each step. The tension in the air thickened, a palpable force that echoed her own yearning. Would she ever find her way back? The thought loomed over her like a storm cloud. But deep within her, a flicker of hope remained, igniting her spirit. With renewed determination, she continued her journey, unaware of the growing concern and interest she had ignited among the townsfolk. If this story is touching your heart, make sure to comment from where you are hearing this amazing story. She seemed to whisper to the stars above, each twinkle a reminder that she was not alone in her quest. As Bella journeyed onward, the world unfolded around her, each moment steeped in mystery and possibility. The stories of those she encountered intertwined with her own, creating a tapestry of hope and resilience. With every challenge she faced, she grew stronger, her quest for home transforming her into a symbol of love that transcended distance and despair. In the hearts of the townspeople, Bella's story began to take root, a testament to the bond between a pet and its family. They watched, waited, and whispered, their own emotions intertwining with the tale of the blind cat who traveled across the country to find her way back home again. As Bella continued her journey through the night, a sudden rustle in the bushes startled her. She froze, her heart racing, listening intently. Out of the shadows emerged a scruffy dog, his coat matted and dirty, yet his eyes held a spark of kindness. Bella instinctively took a step back, unsure of what this unexpected encounter would mean for her. "Hey there, little one," the dog said, his voice gentle. "Are you lost?" Bella hesitated. I'm trying to find my way home," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "I was left behind when my family moved away." The dog's ears perked up, and he sat down, his gaze softening. "Home can be a tricky place to find. I know the feeling well. My name is Max, and I've been searching for my own family for quite some time." Max's revelation took Bella by surprise. She had assumed that only she bore the weight of abandonment. "You're lost too?" she asked, her heart swelling with empathy. "Yes," he sighed, looking down at the ground. "I thought I'd find them in the city, but it's a big world out here. I've faced predators and harsh nights, just like you. But I've learned that sometimes the journey teaches us more than we expect." Bella felt a connection with Max, a shared understanding of their struggles. "But how do we keep going when everything feels so impossible?" she asked, her voice trembling. Max smiled, revealing a hint of wisdom in his eyes. "We keep going because hope is a powerful thing. It's what drives us, even when we can't see the path ahead." Inspired by Max's words, Bella felt a renewed sense of determination. They decided to travel together, believing that two lost souls could forge a stronger bond in their quest for home. With Max leading the way, Bella followed closely, her senses heightened. The two exchanged stories of their pasts, forging a friendship that blossomed amidst the hardships they faced. But just as their spirits began to lift, they stumbled upon a clearing filled with soft moonlight. In the center stood a tall figure, cloaked in shadows, a mysterious cat with striking green eyes. Bella's heart raced. She could sense an aura of authority surrounding this feline. "Who are you?" Bella asked, her voice firm despite her fear. "I am Luna, the guardian of this land," the cat replied, her voice smooth and commanding. "Many travelers pass through here, but few find their way home. You must confront your true selves before you can proceed." Max stepped forward, protectively positioning himself beside Bella. "What do you mean? We're just trying to find our families." Luna's eyes narrowed, her expression inscrutable. "You think this journey is solely about returning home, but it's more than that. You both carry hidden burdens, fear, loss, and doubt. Until you confront them, you will remain lost." Bella felt a chill run down her spine. "What do you know about my burdens?" she challenged, her heart racing with anxiety. "I know that you fear the unknown, that you question your own worth," Luna replied, her gaze piercing through Bella's defenses. "And Max, you hide behind your bravado, masking the pain of being left behind. Only by embracing these truths can you truly move forward." Bella's mind reeled. Was it true? Did her fear of being alone hold her back? She had always thought of herself as a brave warrior. But what if she was simply pretending? Max's voice trembled as he spoke. "I've always believed that I was strong enough to face anything. But what if I'm not?" Luna nodded, her expression softening. "Embrace vulnerability. It's not a weakness. It's a part of being alive. Acknowledging your struggles will empower you, allowing you to rise stronger than before." As they stood in the moonlit clearing, Bella felt a wave of emotions crashing over her. Each memory of her family, every moment of doubt, every fear of the unknown flooded her heart. She closed her eyes, allowing herself to feel the weight of her journey. "I'm scared," she admitted, her voice breaking. "What if I never find them again?" Max nudged her gently. "We'll face this together. No matter what happens, we have each other. That's what matters most." With newfound clarity, Bella opened her eyes. "I've spent so much time focusing on the end goal that I forgot to embrace the journey itself. Every step has brought me closer to understanding who I am." Luna smiled, her voice warm. "You are both stronger than you realize. Embrace your fears, and they will no longer hold you back. Only then can you continue your journey." As dawn broke, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Bella and Max stepped forward, ready to face whatever lay ahead. Together, they had transformed their burdens into strengths, fueling their quest toward home with a renewed sense of purpose. And as they continued their journey, Bella felt a flicker of hope igniting within her, a hope that would guide her through the dark and into the light, toward the family she missed dearly. The bond she had formed with Max had become an unbreakable thread that connected them both, weaving their stories together in a tapestry of resilience and love. Little did they know, their destinies were intertwined, setting them on a path that would change their lives forever. As they ventured into the unknown, the sun rose higher, illuminating the way forward, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope and friendship could light the way home. As dawn's light broke over the horizon, Bella and Max ventured deeper into the woods, their hearts buoyed by the strength they had found in each other. But the tranquility was short-lived. A chilling howl pierced the morning air, sending shivers down their spines. Max's ears perked up, and Bella instinctively pressed closer to him. "What was that?" Bella whispered, her voice trembling. "Sounds like a pack of wolves," Max replied, his brow furrowing. "We need to keep moving quickly." The underbrush rustled ominously, and Bella's heart raced as anxiety clawed at her. The world was closing in around them, every shadow threatening to swallow them whole. They picked up their pace, the scent of damp earth and pine mingling with a metallic tang of fear. As they navigated through the thick foliage, the howls grew closer, echoing through the trees like a sinister symphony. Bella's senses heightened. She could feel the weight of danger pressing down on them. "Stay close to me," Max urged softly. "We'll make it through this." But as they turned a corner, they stumbled into a clearing bathed in sunlight. It was beautiful, But the peaceful facade shattered when they spotted the pack. 6 wolves, sleek and hungry, their eyes glinting with predatory intent. Bella froze, her instincts screaming at her to run. Max instinctively stepped in front of her, a fierce growl escaping his throat. "Back off," he warned, his bravado masking the fear coursing through him. The lead wolf, a massive creature with a coat as dark as the night, stepped forward, unimpressed by Max's bravado. "You're lost, little dog," he sneered, his voice dripping with disdain. "And you, blind cat, are an easy target. Hand over your food, and we might let you go." "But we don't have any food," Bella protested, her heart pounding in her chest. "Then you'll have to entertain us," the wolf replied, a wicked glint in his eyes. "How about a game of chase? You seem like fun." Max's posture stiffened. "We're not playing your games," he said defiantly, even as Bella felt the weight of their peril pressing down on her. The wolves closed in, their snarls echoing through the clearing. Bella's mind raced. She couldn't let fear control her. "We can outsmart them," she whispered to Max, her heart pounding with adrenaline. "I might not see, but I can hear. If we split up, we might confuse them." Max nodded, determination flickering in his eyes. "All right, we'll do it together. On the count of 3, we run in opposite directions." They exchanged glances, a silent pact of trust binding them. 1, 2, 3. They shouted in unison, dashing in opposite directions. Bella focused on the sounds around her, her ears straining to detect the movements of the wolves. Chaos erupted as the wolves lunged forward, their growls echoing in the clearing. Bella felt the ground shift beneath her paws, her heart racing as she darted through the trees, the branches whipping at her fur. "Bella!" Max's voice called from a distance, and she could hear the struggle in his tone. The pack was splitting, some chasing him while others pursued her. She could hear the crunch of leaves beneath their paws, the sound growing louder as they closed in on her. In that moment, Bella's fear transformed into fierce determination. She had to escape, not just for herself, but for Max, who had risked everything to help her. As she ran, she recalled Luna's words about embracing vulnerability and strength. "I will not let fear define me," she whispered to herself with each step. "I will find my way." With the wolves' howls echoing behind her, Bella focused on the sounds of the forest, the rustle of leaves, the distant chirping of birds. She knew the terrain was familiar, yet foreign in her blindness. She could sense a river nearby, the sound of rushing water growing louder. As she neared the riverbank, a sudden thought struck her. The water, it could mask my scent. With a newfound burst of energy, she veered towards the river, trusting her instincts to guide her. The wolves were relentless, their barks growing closer. Bella leaped into the water, the cold shock invigorating her. She paddled furiously, the current pulling her downstream, washing away the scent of her fear. "I gotta find a place to hide," she thought, scanning the riverbank with her ears. She could hear the wolves splashing behind her, their snarls echoing through the trees, but they hesitated at the water's edge. "Stay back," the lead wolf growled, pacing along the bank. "We don't want to get wet." Bella's heart raced as she swam to a cluster of rocks jutting out from the bank. Climbing onto the largest one, she crouched low, her breath coming in sharp gasps. The splash of water concealed her from view, and for a moment, she felt a flicker of hope. But the moment was fleeting. The pack was regrouping, their eyes scanning the water with determination. "She can't hide forever," the lead wolf snarled, frustration lacing his voice. "We'll wait her out." From a rocky perch, Bella could hear Max's muffled calls, his voice filled with worry. "Bella, where are you?" "I'm here," she called back, her heart aching for her friend. "I'm okay. Just stay hidden. I'll find a way to distract them." Bella strained to hear Max's movements, her heart pounding in rhythm with her racing thoughts. She had to find a way to help him, to get back to him. But the wolves were closing in, their patience thin. "Let's split up and search the riverbank," the lead wolf commanded. "She can't stay submerged forever." Panic surged through Bella. She had to act quickly. "Max," she whispered, desperate to reach him. We need to meet up and get out of here. A plan began to form in her mind, an idea fueled by their bond and the lessons learned from their journey. Together, they could outsmart the pack. She took a deep breath, focusing on the sounds of the rushing water and Max's voice. On the count of 3, we'll create a diversion. As the wolves moved along the riverbank, Bella braced herself for the challenge ahead. She could feel the weight of her fears, but she also felt the strength of her friendship with Max. "We can do this," she whispered, her heart steadying. "Together," she added, her voice filled with determination. With her mind focused and her heart set on the task ahead, Bella prepared to face the wolves, ready to turn the tide in their favor, to reclaim their journey, and to protect the bond that had become their greatest strength. The stakes had never been higher, but Bella was ready to confront the darkness head-on, knowing that hope and friendship would light the way forward. As Bella crouched on the rocky perch, her heart raced not just from fear, but from the weight of uncertainty. The wolves were prowling the riverbank, their keen senses searching for any sign of her movement. She could hear Max's distant voice calling for her, but the urgency in his tone sent a shiver down her spine. "Max, I'm here," she whispered back, her voice barely audible over the rush of the water. "Stay hidden, Bella. I'll find a way to distract them." But Bella felt a surge of panic. How could she let him risk himself? The thought of losing her only companion was unbearable. As the wolves continued their search, the lead wolf caught a glimpse of movement near the water's edge. "There," he barked, pointing his snout toward Bella's hiding spot. "I smell her fear." With a sudden burst of adrenaline, Bella leaped off the rocks and splashed into the water, determined to create a diversion. "Max, follow my lead," she shouted, her heart pounding in rhythm with the rushing current. As she swam downstream, the cold water invigorated her, washing away her fear. She could hear the wolves splashing behind her, their frustrated barks echoing in the morning air. "This way," she called to Max, who was darting through the trees, trying to outmaneuver the pack. In a moment of clarity, Bella realized they needed to work together, not just to escape, but to face their fears head-on. "Let's split up again," she suggested, knowing it was the only way they might have a chance to confuse their pursuers. Max nodded, understanding the urgency in her voice. On 3, 1, 2, 3, they took off in opposite directions, Bella trusting her instincts to guide her through the water while Max moved along the bank. As the wolves hesitated, unsure of which direction to follow, Bella's heart raced with hope. She was finally ready to confront her fears, not just for herself, but for Max as well. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the clearing as one of the wolves stumbled over a fallen branch, losing its footing. The pack was momentarily distracted, allowing Bella and Max a precious moment to regroup. "Bella, over here," Max called, his voice filled with relief. They quickly found each other at a thicket, panting from the exertion, but alive with determination. "We can't keep running forever," Bella said grimly, her thoughts racing. "We need to turn the tables on them." "Turn the tables?" Max echoed, his brow furrowed in confusion. "Yes. What if we create a distraction? We can lead them away from the river and back towards the forest." Bella's mind raced with possibilities. She had learned to listen to the sounds around her, and she could hear the rustling of the leaves, the distant calls of birds. "You mean make noise?" Max asked, a flicker of excitement sparking in his eyes. "Yes. Let's use the forest to our advantage," Bella replied, her confidence growing. In that moment, they began to strategize. Bella suggested they gather whatever they could find: fallen branches, rocks, anything to make noise and draw the wolves' attention away from their trail. Max nodded, and together they scoured the ground, their hearts racing with purpose. As they collected their makeshift tools, Bella's senses heightened. She could hear the wolves regrouping, their growls echoing through the dense underbrush. They were getting closer, and time was running out. "Quick, we need to get ready," Max urged, his voice urgent. Once they had enough materials, Bella took a deep breath. "On the count of 3, we make as much noise as we can." "Got it," Max replied, his eyes shining with determination. 1, 2, 3. They hurled the branches into the bushes, creating a cacophony of sound that echoed through the trees. "Over here! This way!" Bella shouted, her voice ringing out amidst the chaos. The wolves perked up, their ears twitching as they turned their attention toward the noise. "What was that?" The lead wolf growled, his eyes narrowing. With the wolves distracted, Bella and Max took off, zigzagging through the trees, their hearts pounding in their chests. They could hear the wolves crashing through the underbrush, their confusion working to their advantage. But just as they thought they had gained some distance, Bella felt a sudden shift in the air. The lead wolf had caught their scent again and was closing in fast. "They're coming!" she gasped, panic rising in her chest. "Stay focused, Bella. We have to keep moving," Max urged, his voice steady despite the urgency. As they dashed deeper into the forest, Bella realized they were nearing a familiar place, the clearing where she and her family used to visit. The memories flooded back, the warmth of her family's laughter echoing in her mind. "Bella, look!" Max shouted, breaking her reverie. They had stumbled upon a thicket of bushes, thick and impenetrable. "We can hide here." Without hesitation, they slipped into the dense foliage, their hearts racing as they listened intently. The wolves were closing in, their growls echoing through the trees. "Where did they go?" The lead wolf barked, frustration seeping into his voice. "They couldn't have gone far," another wolf replied, sniffing the ground. "They're somewhere nearby." As they hid, Bella felt a rush of emotions. They had faced danger together, and now it was time to confront their fears once more. "Max," she whispered, her voice steady, "we can't let them take control of our journey. We have to be brave." Max nodded, determination shining in his eyes. "You're right. We're not just running away. We're fighting for our future." With renewed strength, they prepared to face the wolves together. But just as they were about to make their move, the unexpected happened. A rustle came from the opposite side of the thicket. A second pack of wolves appeared, their eyes gleaming with hunger. "Looks like we've got company," Max muttered, his expression turning grave. "Two packs." Bella gasped, the reality of their situation crashing down around them. The wolves began to circle the thicket, their growls growing louder, and Bella felt the weight of despair creeping back in. "What do we do now?" she whispered, fear gripping her heart. But as the two packs closed in, Bella remembered Luna's words about embracing vulnerability. "Max," she said slowly, "what if we confront them together? Show them we're not afraid." Max's eyes widened. "Are you sure? It could be dangerous. Better to face them than to be hunted like prey," Bella replied, her resolve hardening. Taking a deep breath, Bella stepped out of the thicket, her heart pounding. "We're not afraid," she called out, her voice echoing through the clearing. The wolves paused, surprised by her audacity. Max joined her side, standing tall. "We've come too far to turn back now." The lead wolf, taken aback by their boldness, growled low. "You think you can face us alone? You're just a blind cat and a lost dog." Bella felt a spark of anger ignite within her. "We may be small, but we have something you don't. Hope, friendship, and the will to fight for what we believe in." The wolves exchanged glances, their expressions shifting from amusement to intrigue. "Hope? Friendship?" The lead wolf scoffed. "Those are just words, but they mean something," Max shouted, stepping forward. "They give us strength." The two packs hesitated, and Bella could see the uncertainty in their eyes. Perhaps they had never faced such determination before. "Leave us be," Bella continued, her voice steady. "We won't back down. We've faced challenges you can't imagine. We're not just animals. We're survivors." The lead wolf growled, but the other wolves appeared torn, their expressions wavering. Bella felt the tide shifting, the power of their words resonating in the air. "Maybe there's more to this story than we thought," one of the younger wolves murmured, glancing at his packmates. As the tension hung in the air, Bella and Max stood strong, united in their conviction. They had confronted not just the wolves, but their own fears and doubts, and now they were ready to face whatever came their way. "Let us go," Bella declared, her voice ringing with authority. "We seek our families, and we will not let anyone stand in our way." The lead wolf hesitated, the uncertainty lingering in the air. And in that moment, Bella realized that they had not only fought against the wolves, but had also challenged the assumptions that held them back. "Perhaps we underestimated you," the lead wolf finally admitted, his tone shifting. "You have courage, and that's something we respect. You may go for now." With that, the wolves turned, retreating into the shadows, leaving Bella and Max standing in the clearing, breathless yet triumphant. "We did it!" Max exclaimed, his eyes shining with pride. "Yes, we did," Bella replied, a smile breaking across her face. "We faced our fears together, and now we can continue on our journey." As they ventured deeper into the forest, Bella felt a renewed sense of purpose. They had confronted not only the wolves, but also the hidden prejudices and fears that had once held them back. Their bond had grown stronger, forged in the fire of. As Bella and Max emerged from the clearing, their hearts still racing from the confrontation with the wolves, a sense of triumph enveloped them. They had faced not just danger, but also their deepest fears. The bond they had forged shone like a beacon, lighting the path ahead. "We did it, Bella!" Max exclaimed, his tail wagging with excitement. "Yes, we did," Bella replied, her voice steady but filled with emotion. "I never imagined I could face them like that." With renewed purpose, they continued their journey, the forest around them alive with the sounds of nature. Yet, as they traveled, the weight of their experience lingered in Bella's heart. The memories of her family tugged at her, the ache of longing growing stronger with each passing moment. "Do you think we're getting closer?" Max asked, glancing at Bella with hopeful eyes. "I can feel it," she responded, her voice unwavering. "I know we are. I can almost hear their laughter on the wind." Days turned into nights, and their journey led them through breathtaking landscapes, rolling hills, sprawling meadows, and dense forests. Each step pulled them closer to the life Bella had once known. Yet, she couldn't shake the feeling that something monumental was on the horizon. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue over the world, Bella and Max found themselves standing on a hill overlooking a familiar town. Bella's heart raced as she took in the scene before her. "This looks like Camden," she exclaimed, her voice filled with disbelief. "Do you think it's really home?" Max asked, his excitement tinged with hesitation. "It has to be," Bella said, determination flooding her being. "I can feel it in my bones." As they made their way down the hill, Bella's senses heightened. The sense of the town, familiar and comforting, wrapped around her. She was close, so close. But as they entered the town, a wave of uncertainty washed over her. What if her family had moved on? What if they didn't remember her? "Bella, look!" Max exclaimed, nudging her gently. "People are gathered by the park. Maybe they know something." With trepidation, Bella approached the crowd. She could hear laughter and chatter, but her heart was heavy with doubt. "What if they've forgotten me?" she whispered to Max. "Just be brave," he encouraged. "You've come this far." As they drew closer, Bella caught a familiar scent, one that made her heart soar. It was her family. She felt an electric jolt of recognition, memories flooding back with every breath. "That's them," she cried out, her voice breaking with emotion. With a sudden burst of courage, Bella stepped forward, her heart pounding in her chest. "Mom! Dad!" she called out, her voice echoing through the park. The crowd turned, eyes wide with surprise. Among them, Bella's family froze, disbelief etched on their faces. "Bella," her mother gasped, tears welling in her eyes. In that instant, time stood still. Bella felt the weight of the world lift off her shoulders as she rushed forward, guided by the sound of her mother's voice. She leaped into their arms, feeling warmth and love envelop her like a comforting blanket. "Oh, Bella, we thought we lost you forever," her father cried, his voice thick with emotion. "I've been so scared," Bella admitted, her voice trembling as tears streamed down her cheeks. "But I never gave up. I knew I had to find you." The crowd around them erupted into applause, witnessing the heartwarming reunion. Max stood back, his heart swelling with pride for his friend. He had witnessed Bella's incredible journey and the power of hope and love that had driven her forward. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the scene. Bella and her family held each other tightly, their tears mingling with laughter. The pain of separation melted away, replaced by the joy of reunion. "Thank you for believing in me, Max," Bella said, turning to her loyal friend. "I couldn't have done it without you." Max smiled, his tail wagging. "You're stronger than you know, Bella. You showed me what it means to fight for what you love." In that moment, Bella understood that home was not just a place. It was the love that connected them all. She had traveled across the country, facing unimaginable trials, but the journey had transformed her. She was no longer just a blind cat. She was a symbol of resilience, hope, and unwavering love. As the stars twinkled overhead, Bella felt at peace. She was finally home, surrounded by those who had never stopped believing in her. Together with Max, they had proven that even the darkest paths could lead to the brightest destinations. If this story is touching your heart, make sure to subscribe for more incredible stories like this one. And with that, Bella's journey came full circle, leaving an indelible mark on everyone who had witnessed her triumph. The power of love, friendship, and determination had brought her back home again, proving that no distance could ever break the bond shared between a pet and their family.